And welcome to tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. As always, it is Paul.
Is Brandon.
And we are coming to you, as always,
from the living room.
From our dining room. Dining room for right now. We're hoping this crap ends soon and we're back to normal. As always, we are brought to you by Are You Game? The best comic book store in Piqua. For magic, video games, toys, and more. All right. At 124 North Sunset Drive, Piqua, Ohio. Hey, you know what we can do?
So we can live.
Yeah, you know what you can do? You can give us money on Patreon now. You can go to the Group Therapy Podcast Patreon site and donate to help us keep this thing going and help us update and get new cool stuff for the podcast.
Help us make the podcast better and also eat.
Yeah, no, we don't need to. That's not. We want to make the podcast better. We've invested in new microphones and stuff like that. We hope to have those up and running for the next episode. And hopefully get some more computer, maybe get another better computer. So I'm running my old compact freaking laptop.
Your ancient laptop.
Hey, it works.
The Mesopotamian era.
Yeah, it works. But no, I mean, if you can, whatever you can, if we get some people, we will give shout outs on the air to people who donate. And hopefully we'll have some Patreon levels for people. So when, people donate more, they can get, some cool shit. Like
an autograph.
You can get an autograph 8x10 with me going, hey, how's it going? You can check it. Like I said, that's the plan currently. But, if you want to donate, that would be awesome. Help us pay for this and to keep this going. We would greatly appreciate it. But tonight's episode is
numero 50.
Number 50, the 50th episode altogether. Don't get me wrong. Some of them early episodes are from a couple years back, and they are some not good episodes.
Internet Explorer on a computer. Ugh.
Hey, it works. But
I don't like Chrome. I don't really like
oh my god,
Chrome either.
I did not know we were going to last this long. But we're having fun and we're enjoying ourselves.
No, sometimes we go on great big hiatus.
Yeah, we went on. We're not doing that no more. No more hiatus. No more taking time off. If we take time off, it's usually because of a holiday. Like we did post our episode that hit right around 4th of July. We posted that a few days late. But other than that, everything's going to be pretty much be consistent from now on. Because consistency. Yes, thumbs up to consistency. Right now, we got some old episodes of the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon playing in the background. Love that freaking cartoon. And okay, I got a shout out to somebody who is checking out the show. Mick. I have to say this because you pointed this out to me the last couple times. Is that when I do the podcast, the old one. I used to give Gal Gadot so much shit because I didn't think she was Wonder Woman, because I didn't think she had the physique and stuff like that. I'm going to admit she's a pretty damn good Wonder Woman. She bulked up a little bit. She looks more the part. Hopefully we'll see freaking Wonder Woman 1984 sometime soon.
Hopefully they'll give her good stuff to work with.
Yeah, I mean, the new trailer is looking good, even though the movie was supposed to have been out by now, but, the coronavirus is killing it. As I'm sitting here drinking out of my iced tea out of my freaking Wonder Woman cup I got at the movie theater. All right. Tonight's episode is about, can you have nostalgia for something you weren't around for?
The thing is, while you can enjoy stuff you weren't around for, people watch old movies all the time, made before they were born. People listen to music, old music all the time, made before they were born, because either A, they were recommended it, or B, it was the stuff their parents listened to. But is it really nostalgia. Because, like, I guess it would be nostalgia if it's something you grew up around, like your parents listened to it a lot, like you.
Yeah.
Like,
You guys really had a choice. We need to do a whole episode called Growing Up Nerdy or Growing Up Geek because you guys never had a chance. And I feel bad. Because I pretty much, you guys, you didn't really have much of a choice. I think you did, but...
I mean, like, you never really forced it on us. It just naturally happened because we were surrounded by it.
Yeah.
Is like... Growing up, you know, we hit some pretty rough patches, so, like, you know, couldn't always get the new stuff.
Yep.
And so, as a result, you know, we went for a lot of the stuff that was just, you know, there, lying around.
Yeah, you played a lot of PlayStation 1 and 2, and
Well, everyone was playing their Xboxes and PS2s. I was playing Dreamcast.
Yep. Hey, Dreamcast is freaking awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
But, no, I guess it's not nostalgia for something that you weren't on it. Because I joke around is that I like Steve McQueen movies. Mm-hmm. And I definitely was not around for the heyday of Steve McQueen movies. Mm-hmm. So,
it's more of a 70s thing. And
yeah,
you were born in
the 70s.
74.
Yeah, I mean, I feel old. And I'm going to text out. But... No, I mean...
Well, think about it this way, Dad. You're cooler than most old people.
Cooler. That is probably debatable. I'm gonna go. That is massively debatable. Oh my god! But I think, you know, I guess it's not nostalgia for something that you weren't born into. I mean, I grew up and I love the 70s exploitation movies. Big fan of 70s exploitation. I definitely was not old enough to really... I mean, don't get me wrong, I was born in 74, but, you know, most of that stuff, you know, I like...
But, counter argument, when you were a kid, you know, you were watching that stuff because it was at the video store.
That, and it was on Showtime and HBO and Cinemax and...
You know... Even though you weren't necessarily around for it, it was still, you know, part of your childhood.
Oh, yeah.
So I would argue that's nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you guys had...
Like...
71. Okay. Shaft. The original Shaft movie came out in 71. I wasn't born until 74. I liked the movie Shaft. That's a fun movie. I actually got Shaft on the soundtrack on vinyl. I mean, it's... You know, and I know you guys used to go and still even with Vince, you guys... Scooby-Doo predates me. Scooby-Doo came out in 69. That predates me by 5 years, and I grew up on Scooby-Doo. But then again, Scooby-Doo's heyday was the 70s and the early 80s, because that's when you got all the Scooby-Doo movies and all that fun stuff like that.
Scooby-Doo, like, will never die. Even if it goes away for a while, like it did for a bit in, like, the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, but
Sure,
even
they had the movies, but there wasn't really a whole lot of new Scooby-Doo coming out.
Yeah, we had What's New Scooby-Doo that was in the early 2000s. But yeah, you're right.
Mid 2000s thing.
You know,
that was like
Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island. That brought back Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm. Freaking everybody. I have not heard of a single person who did not like Zombie Island.
Scooby-Doo, Zombie Island, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and
Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase.
Cyber Chase.
Were like the trio.
Those were the whole trinity that brought back Scooby-Doo. And there's been some crappy Scooby-Doo direct-to-DVD movies.
Well, there have been some pretty
but
decent
there's been
ones.
Some really good ones. I mean, Vince recently, that kid loves Scooby-Doo, but he found Scooby-Doo and Guess Who on Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. And we burnt through the first season for that, but now second season's on there, but now you got to pay for second season, and I'm a cheap fuck, so I'm waiting for it to be on there for free. Because, you know, I go back to watching Scooby-Doo again. I mean, me and him sit down and watch like all 13 episodes in like 2 days. And I didn't, because I thought I had more episodes. If not, I would have watched it so fast. And they had an episode with Penn and Teller, which is great. So they had the Batman episode and the Wonder Woman episode, and
The
then
Flash
they had,
episode.
yeah, then they had episodes with people like, they had a Sia episode, and I don't know much about Sia because I'm an adult. And I know this is going to sound, I'm an old curmudgeon, and I don't listen to much, I don't listen to, like, any pop music outside of what plays at the gym. And I try to zone that out if at all possible. Because, I mean, the sad part about it is that at the gym, the songs tend to repeat sometimes, which sucks right now, because I'm there about an hour and a half, and I will hear the same song 3 times. Because there's a loop.
Jeez.
There's a loop somewhere in there, and it's been playing like that for a while. That's at Planet Fitness. I don't know if anybody else is dealing with that crap at any other Planet Fitness or just the Piqua one. But yeah, at midday at about I want to say it starts, but maybe about about noon, I will see the same song and videos repeat 3 times. So it's about once every half hour. So play like the small block of stuff. As I'm getting completely off topic with that, but no, I don't listen to like, I don't really listen to any pop music. I'm a metalhead. Oh, fucking metal. And
There's a small amount of pop that's like a bit of my guilty pleasure.
now, see, the pop that I like is old, like 80s stuff, because that's what. And somebody gave me shit about this a while back, and I was like, oh, no, I don't listen to any of that bull crap. It's not metal. I'm like, dude, if you grew up in this area in the 80s, there was one radio station that played constantly at the mall. It played at the pool. It played, it was Z93, and it was the all pop channel. And I was like, man, I know you went to the skating rink. Skating rink played pop music. I mean, hell, I think they're still playing the exact same music on the exact same 45s they've had in there since the dawn of time.
I can attest to that. When I was a kid, they had the roller, like at school, they had free roller skating days.
Oh yeah.
When I went in, they would play like 90s and 80s pop, and also the cha-cha slide.
Cha-cha slide. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's like that's oh my God. That's a horrible thing. That should not be a thing. The cha-cha slide. Any of those wedding dances, as I like to call them, they're just horrible.
It was Venger the whole time.
It was Venger. It's Optimus Prime. Most people don't know Venger was Optimus Prime. Oh man. So crap. I started watching the new Transformers television series on Netflix. The guy that they got doing the voice for Optimus Prime is kind of close to Peter Cullen, but it sounds weird. It's like when Brian Henson took over the voice of Kermit when Jim Henson died. Mm-hmm. It sounds close, but not quite.
Like when same thing with friggin' Mel Blanc passed away.
Yeah,
and new people had to come in and take over the voices of like every Looney Tunes character.
And Mel Blanc did them all. They're like, oh, crap.
Shit.
What are we gonna do? Shit. I
don't know. The guy they got doing Porky Pig is really good.
Yeah, Porky Pig's is pretty much spot on. There's a couple other ones that are really, really close, but then there's the ones that you listen to and you're like, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's almost as like when those cartoons, when they would give Tom a voice from Tom and Jerry, or Jerry a voice, and you're like,
in the really
no, they're not supposed to talk. They're not supposed
thing is, they did talk occasionally in the really old cartoons, but it was usually for a punchline.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they never talked most of the time made those moments pretty funny.
Yeah. I always loved Spike and Tyke were the only ones that really talked, and then the tough cats that used to hang outside would talk, and then Tom would just sit there and go, "Whoa," and shake his head and agree with them and whatnot. Oh my God. So
I love I grew up with old Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Freaking love old Tom.
Yeah,
and
see,
Jerry.
that's just it. I was sitting there the other day because when we did our 80s cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon thing, I went through and I was looking at Saturday morning cartoons, and when they actually aired the first time and when we got them or whatever, and I'm sitting there looking, and like I said before, I was like, we might get up in the morning before like the 8 o'clock, the new cartoons would start. Mm-hmm. But before that, you would have the syndicated cartoons, mm-hmm. which was like your Tom and Jerry, your Bullwinkle, your Heckle and Jekyll, stuff like that. Holy crap, that stuff was old before we got it. So, like, I looked up today and noticed that Gigantor was like 1964. So, and I'm like, oh, man. So I grew up on all these cartoons that were already well old when I started watching them. And then...
and it gets real crazy when you start watching the old... I freaking had an old 60s Spider-Man VHS growing up.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched the crap out of that.
I have.
Because I love that theme song.
Well, I got the box set. I got the 60s Spider-Man box set, which is fun. And it's hilarious watching that because, what is that, 68? So you only had 5 years worth? No, 62. So you had 6 years worth of Spider-Man continuity to play on. And that was it.
And oftentimes they would just completely ignore that.
Oh, yeah.
Make up characters like Dr. Noah Body.
Yep, and then they had the one where they took another cartoon.
A Flash Gordon
cartoon.
And put Spider-Man in it using, like, all of the Spider-Man. Like, that show was, like, obviously super cheap to make. Even for the time. They were always reusing, Spider-Man.
The swing towards the camera was in every episode.
The swinging
across the buildings. Yeah, they just kept repeating. But I mean, that's pretty much standard for cartoons back in the day.
They reused the run cycles in Scooby Doo a whole lot.
Oh yeah. Well, the Flintstones did the same. The Flintstones were one of the worst ones at that. Mm-hmm. But they just kept reusing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, like, I say Spider-Man was particularly cheap because sometimes it would do the episode, like, it would be the same episode. It'd be essentially the same episode, but it would be just slightly different.
They're like, hey, we need to replace the Scorpion with the Shocker. No. Sat here watching... ironically enough, there was not a whole lot of repeated animation in this. They didn't really use anything for what on the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. See, this is just it. Everybody, and I've said this once, I will say this a billion times. Everybody wants a new Dungeons and Dragons movie. Everybody wants some cool ass Dungeons and Dragons movie. All we need to do is make a live action version of the Saturday morning cartoon, and it would make everybody happy.
I don't even think we need to do... I would love to see,
I'd like an updated cartoon.
I'd love to see, just the guys who've taken on, reviving the good revivals. But,
yeah. Go ahead. We got a really good Thundercat revival, and then a really shitty Thundercat revival. We got a really good He-Man revival. And now we're waiting to see if the Kevin Smith revival is any good.
Kevin Smith is good when he has co-writers to tell him that something isn't funny.
Kevin Smith, to me, is hit and miss. I love his early stuff. His later stuff, like... I think I've only watched, like, Zack and Miri make a porno once. And I was like, oh, okay, that's alright. And then I just
like I said, he works best when he has a co-writer. Works best when he's working with other people too.
No, because Cop Out's horrible. And Cop Out, he just directed. That was written by a completely different. That's just a bad movie. I'm not.
That's why I said he just directed and he didn't write it.
I've watched Red State. I liked Red State. I have never been able to finish Yoga Hosers. And I'm probably in the people. This is yet again. This goes back to the things I hate that other people love, things I love that other people hate. I did not like Tusk. Tusk bored the shit out of me. I mean, mind you, I was watching it later in the evening, but I kept like having to I'd fall asleep, wake up, have to rewind and go back, and I'd be watching it, and I'd fall asleep. I'm like, oh, okay, this is just not keeping my attention. It's not good.
But on the flip side of things, he did make the Clerks cartoon, which was legitimately funny.
The Clerks cartoon. Yeah, but then he made, was it Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy stoner movie or whatever? That is not good. That's not good. But no, the Clerks freaking animated TV show. 6 episodes of awesomeness.
Like, it was trying to be sort of like a Family Guy South Park kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where, they would have, like, celebrities show up. But I feel like that was the joke.
The fact that they had Alec Baldwin playing Leonardo, he should have appeared. He needs to appear in Clerks 3.
Leonardo?
Yeah, Alec Baldwin needs to appear as Leonardo in Clerks 3.
And tie it all together?
And tie everything together. I thought for sure he was going to be in Clerks 2. I was like, oh, they got to have him show up as Leonardo in this, and then nothing. Now we're watching Mr. Peabody.
I think easily one of the best things about the Clerks cartoon was, honestly, he had a really good art style.
Oh,
it looks really nice, even today.
Yeah, I mean, well, they had
you got all these adult cartoons that are just Family Guy but worse, or Rick and Morty but worse. But Clerks cartoon, has, like, legitimate character design.
Oh, yeah.
I love... I'm sorry, just...
Well,
how angular everyone is, except Jay.
Yeah, because he's all circular and round. But holy crap! The funny part about the Clerks animated series was that they had a comic book artist, and I'm trying to remember his name off the top of my head. The one that did the.
I know only 2 episodes aired, and the network canceled it immediately.
They're like, what the hell? I love the fact that they had to figure out how to make Jay. They're like, oh, one of the main characters is a drug dealer. That's not going to work.
I remember watching the behind the scenes, and they talked about, like, they were trying to find a way to put Jay, like, give Jay a design. And oftentimes they were talking about how they'd give him, like, a sharp chin or make him look more, like, witchy.
Yeah.
And then they'd bring up, like, the guy who plays Jay is kind of handsome, kind of baby-faced. So, and then they end up making him, like... All the other characters have, like, they get, like, the beady circular eyes, when they're surprised, except Jay. His eyes just kind of...
Stay the same.
Yeah, and, like I said, there's some jokes that are kind of hit, kind of miss. But honestly, it was a...
Who's driving car? Oh no, Bear driving car. That makes me laugh every time. I know it's dumb as shit, but it still fucking makes me laugh. And I don't know, and I feel dumb that I laugh at that every time.
I don't know. As funny as the fake Korean ending is, I honestly think one of my favorite jokes is where, in an attempt to appeal to the jury, Randall just makes himself out to be a racist. So he's like, Dante is just like you. He loves grape soda.
Oh, man. No.
He just makes it so everyone hates him.
Yep. I drawn before a live studio audience. I like that.
And the fact that there's no laugh track. The line is, Clerks, the animated series, is animated before a live studio audience. And there's no laugh track.
The fact that it works with no laugh track is great, because, man, I being an adult, I never paid attention to a laugh track when I was a kid. Never paid attention. Never even thought about it. And because
especially watching MASH.
Oh, MASH, and then you go back and watch. No, what's really funny is watching MASH and Scooby Doo, and finding out both shows have a laugh track. And what's great,
like when I was a kid, like I was like. As a kid, I didn't really pay attention to it. So you go back and you're like, wait, Scooby Doo had a laugh track? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, the fact that you didn't pay attention, and then I went and was watching some old episodes the other day and was like, oh yeah, Paul Dini worked on 2 episodes
Of the Clerks cartoon?
of Clerks cartoon. Yes, Paul Dini.
Of course he did. Paul Dini's everywhere.
Paul
He
Dini works on everything. That's because they were like, hey, we want this show to be really cool. Who's available? Paul Dini's sweet. Get him.
Fuck yeah.
So it's Tara Strong, because Tara Strong's in every freaking thing.
I got a lot of... Tara Strong seems like a cool lady.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be cool.
I think I've kind of met her in passing at a couple conventions, but that's about it. But I really gotta. I was supposed to. I think this year we were supposed to meet her, of course, because no conventions. I've literally have not been. I went to one toy show this year. And it was right after the lockdown took off, and I don't think there's going to be another comic book related. I mean, I think there's going to be some small ones, but I know.
I don't. You know what? COVID is con crud times 20.
Oh, it is, dude. I people like there's small shows going on in some places, and I'm like, I'm not going. I mean, I might. No. Con crud sucks bad enough. For those who are unaware of what con crud is, it's when every time you do a show, because you're around a lot of people, you're handling money, people are wanting to shake hands, talk to you, stuff like that. You almost always get sick after a convention. That's literally why.
Because nobody washes their hands.
Dude, I have a...
Nerds are gross.
I have one of them holster bags, one of the ones that hook to your belt that goes down your leg. And I keep, like, my money bag, my money in it. I keep, like, pens, tape, whatnot. I also keep hand sanitizer. And this is before COVID and all that fun stuff like that. I would keep that stuff on me all the time. Because if not, you would always get sick. Like
that con crud.
Con crud. It sucks so bad. And
as I said, nerds are gross.
Oh no. Well, it's the whole. A lot of people tightly packed space is whatever. But no, I've gotten to the point now where I am I tend to be germophobic anyways, so. I always carry hand sanitizer, and if I forget, the last time I forgot, I'm like sitting there and I would like wait on people, and then I was like and I didn't want to shake hands, so I'd like fist bump and stuff like that, and if they want to shake my hand, I'd shake hands, and then I would immediately run to the restroom, which is down the hallway, and then wash my hands real quick, and then run back. Well, here it goes. This is why it is. Jim Mafood was the comic book artist, and he was the character designer for Clerks. That's why they look like the comic books versions of some of the comic book versions of them.
That's why they got an actual concept artist and character designer to work on their show, and that's why the show looks good.
But oh my god. Con crud sucks. Especially sucked when I had a 40-hour week job that I went to. I would do a show on Sunday and then have to go to work either Sunday night or Monday morning. And you'd feel like crap because it would start kicking in about the either when you woke up in the morning or when I worked third shift. Because I'd already been up for like 24 hours at that point. It was horrible, but I got to the point, and it was an ongoing joke that I kept telling everybody that 2019 I was going to phase out shaking people's hands. Mm-hmm. And then COVID hit, and now I'm like, see, this is why I was phasing out shaking people's hands, not to be a jerk, but because
con crud.
So I started, every time somebody would like reach out to shake a hand, I would like hold up like fist bump, and people go, "Oh, fist bump," and go on. And it's not because I don't want to be impolite. It's not because I want to be a jerk. It's not because I just
don't want to get sick.
I don't want to get sick. I run my own business. I have a couple people that will help me out, but it is what it is. I also don't want to make Vince sick, and I don't want to make anybody else in the house sick. Vince, if he gets sick, it sucks because he really, when he gets sick, you know it, but he never gets sick. Mm-hmm. Almost never gets sick, I should say. But holy crap, we're going on a tangent on conventions right now. But no, it looks like the next big convention isn't till mid 2011, 2021, 2011. I wish it was till 2011.
This year has both been unbearably long and also going by at Mach speed.
Dude, me and your mom were just talking about this a few minutes ago. Or a little bit ago. I was mowing the yard earlier today, and I just had this sudden realization, shit, it's August.
It's August 6th.
And I'm like, oh, crap. I need to get the rent check in the mail for the shop.
Why is this intro just incredibly well animated?
It's the Littles. And the animation was actually pretty decent on the Littles all the way through. But it's literally a Japanese, I want to say it's an anime company that makes it.
Dinky's Doomsday Pizza by Jeffrey Scott.
The Littles. That's like a forgotten cartoon. Even though like everybody remembers it, and it's like super easy to find. It's like on a bunch of different streaming networks and everything else, but the Littles. The Littles. Holy crap. But alright, let's get back to what we were talking about a little bit ago. Like getting nostalgic for stuff. Like right now, I'm really nostalgic for ninja movies. 1980s was the time period for the ninja movie. And that ninja was Sho Kosugi. And I literally got Kosugi, not Kosugi. Sho Kosugi. Ugh. It's easy for me to say. I have two really good movies, Rage of Honor and Pray for Death, which one people tend to say is a sequel to the other one, and it's not. It's two completely different stories, two completely different characters. But I have the show movie to end all show movies. That is Ninja 3, The Domination, which is, I can't explain this movie. It's got ninjas, a former solid gold dancer, possession, a former an aerobics instructor / telephone line woman finds a dying ninja, and that dying ninja possesses her body, and she becomes a killing machine. And they have to perform an exorcism to get the ninja out of, and it's
ninja exorcism.
People were laughing at me because I posted it the other day, and I'm like, but that's the thing. I love it because it's so freaking weird, man. The other show movies, straight out revenge movies. Mm-hmm. One he's a cop, one he's a retired ninja whose family takes over a shop only to have this mob boss, which this mob boss is like stupid, like comically evil, and it's just goofy. But yeah, they're played. Those are played straight. The worst part about it is Ninja 3 is played straight. But it's just so fucking weird. It's great. There's a scene with a floating sword that comes out of her freaking closet. And literally, anybody who gets hit with a throwing star dies.
No matter where they hit.
Y'all, man, they get hit and they're like, they fall over dead. And ninja stars ain't gonna kill nobody. You know, you could...
poison them.
Yeah, but they, like, people take a ninja star to the eye and they die. But... even that is super. Literally, he takes cow trips and throws them. Instead of, like, where people, like, step on them and stuff, he, like, throws them and, like, they all fall over.
I know, Shock.
Sho Khashoggi is great because he's I guess he's kind of semi-retired now, but he does a lot of, like, voice. He's done some voiceover work, and he's done some. Literally, the last thing he did was Ninja Assassin. He's got another movie coming out. It's in pre-production. It was supposed to be out this year, but that ain't gonna happen. He did one in 2009. He did Ninja Assassin, but then he did the Tenchu game in 1998, and then he did.
He worked on Tenchu?
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
He's
love Tenchu.
Ricky Maru.
He's Ricky Maru.
Yeah, he's the Japanese version. But then he was in Power Ranger episodes in Japan. He was Ninja Sentai.
Kaku Ranger. He was Ultraman. Ranger.
And he was Ultraman.
He was in Ultraman, a single episode. He was Ultraman powered.
He was the voice of Ultraman.
Ah.
It was also in Blind Fury. Yeah.
Sho Kosugi.
And he was in Black Eagle. One of the first movies with the icon Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He was in Rage of Honor.
Yeah, Rage of Honor, Pray for Death. Those are the ones I got.
9 Deaths of the Ninja.
Oh, man. He was the man for ninja movies back in the day.
The Master. The
Enter
TV
the Ninja,
series.
Revenge of the Ninja. The fact that one of his early movies was Bruce Lee Fights Back from the Grave as Suzuki, and he was uncredited.
He was in The Godfather Part 2 as a passerby in coat with cap pulled down.
Uncredited. This is great. I love some of these early roles for people
Before they got big.
Oh yeah, like Ben Affleck was basketball player, like number 2. Holy crap! But I want a big. Oh, I also got in the Sword and Sorcery collection. The 4 movie set the other day or today actually. I got it delivered. I haven't even got the chance to sit down and watch it, even though we've watched most of these movies. But it's the Deathstalker 1, 2, Barbarian Queen, and Warrior and the Sorceress. The only one I haven't watched recently is Barbarian Queen. But man, I tell you what, I've been on a kick for stupid shit from the 80s lately. Bad, as well I should. We were joking around. I was like, I pretty much live in the 80s. Everything I watch. Listen. All the music I listen to is mostly from the 80s.
80s power metal or 80s hair metal. Or
80s, a lot of 80s thrash metal and death metal. I have a 1982 Z28 Camaro.
You're not like big foofy like extreme 80s. You were more of like a Metallica 80s.
No, I was definitely a Metallica kid. Man, Metallica was the shit back when I was in junior high and high school.
I was talking to my great grandma and your grandma. There's this one photo of you from high school where you're like kind of looking at the viewer. It's like I think it's your senior photo or something, but you don't have a beard, but you look exactly. My dad looked exactly the same as he does now, in that picture from high school as he does now. Except, like, sure, he's a little bit grayer, but he like. If I had this photo, I'd have like, get it put up on like Facebook or something, and like put it up with like a modern picture of Dad to like show everybody. But like, Dad looks exactly the same in this photo as he did, like from when. Like I said, sure, he's missing a beard, and he's not as gray as he is now. But my father has not aged a day. It's incredible.
Well, the fun part is, is when me and your mom first got together.
It's that one photo of you. You're kind of like this.
Yeah.
You're clean shaven, but you look exactly the same.
Well, what's funny is that when me and your mom were together for, I don't know, I'd started growing a beard in high school. Yeah, I think when I met your mom, I had a full beard. If not, it was really close. I've had a mustache or a goatee pretty much forever. But your mom asked me shortly after we started dating, she goes, "Oh, I want to see what you look like." And then I shaved off my mustache and beard. She's like, "Oh my God, you look like a kid. Grow it back. And I've had facial hair ever since. No, I
know for a while you just went only goatee, no
mustache, goatee only. I had one time where I went mustache, no beard at all. Now I'm known for my beard because I have like my beard's like
super long.
It's like 15 inches long. It's
you stroke it like an old wizard.
I keep telling everybody that as I get older, and my hair will fall out and everything, I'm gonna just grow the big beard, and it'll eventually go gray, and I'll be bald, so I'll look like a wizard from D&D, and I'll
just start zapping people.
Just like, I'm a wizard. Holy crap! No, I got lucky when it comes to that. I aged really well. People like to point that out. Ironically enough, they're like, "Holy shit." I had some dude do this to me the other day. He's like, "Oh man, we're about the same age, right?" And I was like, "Oh." I go, "How old are you?" He goes, "I'm 43." And I was like, "I'm 46." And he goes, "You suck." He goes, "I thought you were younger than me." And I was like, "No, I'm older." And he's like, "Hey, you're aging really good." I'm like, "Well, thank you."
Like I said, freaking my own Becky has that one photo of you from high school I'm thinking about. Because, like, it was in the room I used to stay in when I was real young.
Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, I have... I joke around how I don't like pictures of me before, like, 1995.
I think up here is a photo of you. Yep, before you started growing in the mustache part of
your
goatee.
I got a couple... Was it... No Shave November a few years ago. I just decided to let the beard grow out. And everybody, because I grow facial hair like a werewolf.
The wereman.
And somebody hadn't seen me in like a couple weeks, and all of a sudden I'm like, I have a full beard. And then they see me a couple weeks after that, and I have like this giant, just poofy beard. And they're like, "What the hell? You didn't look like that last time I seen you." I was like, I told you, I grow hair like a freaking Yeti. Now I wish the hair on my head would grow that thick, but no, my hair on my face will grow thick. Well, I decided just to keep the mustache at that point, because when I shaved off the beard, I was like, yeah, I'm keeping a mustache this time.
Yeah, step out of frame real quick.
Yeah. So, all right. I want to go on a tangent here about toys right now. I know this is bad. I'm getting off topic a little bit. But I'm trying to collect the new Masters of the Universe figures and the new G.I. Joe classified figures. The market right now is... Action figures are doing really good for non-Star Wars and stuff like that. The thing is, the companies aren't jumping on it. Freaking, what does Hasbro do? They start making store exclusives. And then those stores never have them in. Walmart has got toys. Target has toys. Target never has toys. Walmart never has toys. You'll look them up, and they'll say, hey, you look up their website, and it'll tell you they have some in stock. You get to their store, and they're like, we ain't got any. They'll go through the back and check. But it's like they're dropping the ball on purpose. As much as I like Star Wars and stuff like that, you can only have... I mean, I don't need 18 different Bespin Lukes. I give shit because I've got a ton of different versions of Snake Eyes, but as literally over decades, where freaking the Bespin Luke in the last 5 years they produced 10 different Bespin Lukes. That's insane. You don't need that many. And then they're not selling on top of it. I don't know. I like some of the Star Wars figures, and the ones that do become popular, whatever. I mean, I still like some of them. Some of them I don't think we need. You know, and I think they need to market them. They keep telling them, like, oh, these are towards kids. Kids aren't buying 18 different Bespin Lukes. You know, kids want Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, you know,
They
Obi-Wan. And tons of stormtroopers and like Hoth troopers. You know, you want guys that you can build armies around. And they're keep going, oh, it's marketed towards kids. Then why are they $20 figures? You know, the kids ain't buying $20 figures. So, I don't know. I just think that right now, because I like it and I hate it. As a toy collector, I like some of the adventure of going out, trying to find the figures and stuff like that. What sucks is that now you have scalpers who run out, buy up everything they got, and then run immediately and throw them up on eBay. Or they throw them up on, you know, whatever, and they jack the price up. What's cool is like a lot of Targets are doing, you know, one per customer. So you can get one of each figure. You can't get multiples of the same figure. Your mom was able to pick up some of the G.I. Joe classifieds for me last weekend. And she's like, what do you want? I'm like, no, there's 2 of this one. Just get 1. I did get 2 of the new Skeletors, but the only reason I got that is she got 1 at one store and then found a better one at another store. And so now I'll have 1 and I'll open the other one because I got 1 on a beat up card. So, but if they would have been 2 at the store, I would have just got the 1. I would have got the better of the 2, but went from there. But it is what it is. I mean, I can grumble and piss and moan and everything else like that, and it's not going to change anything. Toys are still going to be, you know, people are still going to be running out and trying to grab up everything they can. You know, I don't know. I've to the point now where it's fun going and looking. I enjoy being able to actually, for the first time in forever, search out figures and be like, cool, they got in the new Destro. Or being a G.I. Joe fan, it's nice that there's G.I. Joes in the store again. And being a Masters of the Universe fan, it's nice that there's Masters of the Universe in the store again. Because I remember you guys played with my G.I. Joes a lot when you were little.
Yeah.
I remember when I finally was like, all right, you guys are old enough to start playing with G.I. Joes where you're not going to break them. And then
I'm watching this episode of The Littles. This is like, this is the episode where the existence of them is discovered, and they're all taken in and like grabbed by the government, by like this government scientist.
Hey,
they're all ripped from their homes.
Hey, at least this isn't like the Smurfs, where the human that knows the Smurfs exist, the one is just trying to get them so he can eat them.
Or turn them to gold.
Or turn them into gold, depending on which continuity you're going to. So then we'll be finding out that the Littles were delicious. So would people eat them? Or there'd be one guy going, I bet you they taste really good. Oh, man. So the other day I was going through and I was looking up stuff, cereal that used to come out in the 80s that doesn't exist anymore. And I forgot one of my favorite cereals outside of Strawberry Honeycomb, which they bring back occasionally, which is awesome.
They need to make it permanent.
They need to just go, okay, we got Strawberry Honeycomb and now it's a thing. But then it wouldn't be no good because then somehow it would change and not taste as good. Smurfberry Crunch. I loved Smurfberry Crunch when I was a kid. Holy crap, I forgot it existed, and I forgot how... And I was like, oh, I ate the crap out of that when I was younger. That and C-3PO cereal. Gotta love some 3POs. It's basically Cheerios, but they're 2 rings instead of 1. You're completely fascinated by this whole Littles episode.
Their sizes are just constantly changing. They're always off model.
Oh, dude, they're supposed to be the size of a mouse, but there's episodes where they look like they're about a foot tall, and then there's episodes where they're like riding on bugs and stuff. I think it's been a long time since I sit down and watch the Littles. Ah, man, this is hilarious. Right?
This is more horrifying because it's like this is a horror movie, but
it's a horror movie. Oh man, you know what I found out last night? We knew Vince liked the Halloween movies.
Because he likes the
he likes Michael Myers because he's spooky and scary.
He calls him the Michael Myers.
The Michael Myers. But the best one, we were sitting there last night and I was watching Friday the 13th Part 6, and he was off in the other room playing, and he comes in and he just starts watching. He goes, he's a monster, man. I'm like, yeah, he kind of is a monster, man. And he got into it, and he's sitting there and all of a sudden he's like, little girl, turn around, he's behind you. I was like, man, Vince, you're so much fun, kid. That like he just doesn't care that it's supposed to be scary. That's just it's pretty cool. But no, I'm going to we're way off topic today. Way off topic. But we are hoping that next week we will have a better setup. We got a new mic. We were gonna use that tonight, but we want to have the episode able to drop tonight and not maybe record it and then have to mess with it for a day or so. We're planning a live episode coming up soon, and we finally got okayed. We are now on Podbean and Google, Chromecast and Apple iTunes, so you can check us out on all 3 of those right now. Holy crap, man. I know I say holy crap way too much, don't I?
Yeah, I say like way too much.
Like Zoinks, man.
Now we're just going into full. This is some fucking trippy ass dream sequence.
It's yeah. I was gonna say it's a big dream sequence for the
whole
for the pilot dude who looks like the pilot. I love how he's a little tiny pilot that looks like the pilot from Mad Max.
Got the scarf, the pilot hat.
Oh my god. That's what's funny is that the pilot from Mad Max is in Mad Max. He's in not Mad Max. He's in The Road Warrior. He's in Beyond Thunderdome as a pilot, but not necessarily the same pilot, because he acts like he's never met Max before in the second one. And if you watch Fury Road, supposedly, and they said it's canon, is his skull with his aviator beanie and goggles is on one of the cars in the beginning of the movie. So
they said that flat out it's his skull that's on
yeah, they said it's his skull. In canon, it's his skull. They're going to teach you how to make a car out of some rubber bands, a cup, and some straws. Because, I used to love how these cartoons teach you how to do magic tricks and build stuff, and that's how that can be considered educational programming.
So they got away with it.
Oh, educational programming, because that's why you got PSAs at the end of episodes of cartoons.
That's why it was like, knowing is half the battle, or polliting.
Well,
I've seen that name everywhere.
Oh, Haim Saban had it. So the guy who did Power Rangers worked on the Littles.
Paul Aiding is the voice of the Colonel in Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, it's Deke. That's why I couldn't think of who it was. It's Deke that did it. Yeah, back in the day there was 4 studios, because you had Hanna-Barbera, which ended up Groovy Ghoulies. You had Hanna-Barbera, which was Ruby Spears and Funimation.
You keep saying Funimation.
Filmation, not Funimation. Funimation is the anime company, not the it's still cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Filmation was your
It's Hanna-Barbera, Ruby Spears, Filmation,
Geek, and Sunbow / Marvel. And then of course you had your oddball. You had like your ones that did the Warner Brothers and stuff like that. Man, Saturday morning cartoons was ruled by a handful of studios.
Because they were able to make stuff like really cheap, and they were able to make a lot of it.
Well, what's really cool is you go back and I have the Flash box set from the Filmation Flash series, and you look at it and you're like, holy crap, that's animation. Like one character is Tila. They just take the hair because she's got the crown,
Mm-hmm.
and they just remove the hair or make the hair small, and then it's Tila. It's just the character model.
Sabrina.
No, this is Groovy Ghoulies. I think this is one where they meet Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I just watched the Groovy Ghoulies meet the Warner Brothers cartoons the other day for the first time. I found some stuff. I was finally looking. This goes back to our lost media thing. I was going through and I found some. A buddy pointed out Kelsey Grillo. Shout out to Kelsey. He told me about the site. Found the Mad cartoon special. Mad Magazine had a cartoon special in the early 70s. And it's actually pretty good. I think I posted it on I believe I posted it on the Group Therapy Facebook page, so you can check it out there. I believe I posted the Groovy Ghoulies meet the Warner Brothers cartoon on there. And I think I posted the 13 episodes of the 1960s Captain America cartoon. I'm trying to get people to check some of this stuff out.
Captain America
throws his mighty shield.
That one, that was even cheaper than a lot of the other cartoons
because it
was just Jack Kirby art.
It was just Kirby art that they moved. It didn't have any real animation. They just like moved it from side to side. Also, a couple people are going to be sending us some boxes of old VHS tapes from stuff that's been around since the 80s and into the 90s. So we're hoping to be able to have some cartoons here soon. Maybe some lost stuff. Maybe some obscure commercials that people don't remember. All that fun stuff. You look confused.
I'm not really confused. I'm more tired.
You getting tired?
Yeah.
Well, we'll shut her down here shortly. We're closing in on an hour. But, oh my God.
I'm just kind of almost about to fall asleep.
Today has been rough. I got up this morning, got Vince ready, got breakfast, went to the gym, worked out, ran to the shop, paid my comic bill, ran to the shop, mowed down the weeds in front of the shop, did some paperwork and stuff there, hauled ass back here to town, then mowed the yard here across the street, all 3 yards, then ran to the grocery store, got some stuff, then I came home, cooked dinner, which I made a chorizo hash grilled cheese sandwiches that you didn't eat because you'd already eaten.
I was mainly still full from my
Yeah, I know, but there's still...
sorry.
Yeah,
I'll have some tomorrow.
I know.
I'm sorry.
This is what happens when you make dinner and people are like, oh, I already ate.
I didn't get dinner. I ate lunch, and I had a big lunch.
Oh, I know. I gotta give you shit. Same thing I did to Joe. Joe was like, why did you order pizza? I was making dinner. But your mom enjoyed my food, so that's all that matters. So,
like I said, I'm sorry, I'm just tired.
Oh, it's okay. Well, we're going to wrap this episode up for tonight, and we're going to hopefully everything comes together more. We're getting a little bit better equipment, so hopefully next week we'll have a better sounding episode, and maybe a bit better plotted episode, considering this one is just kind of rambling. We started out with a plan,
Yeah.
and like most plans, they derail halfway through and go there.
The best plans are the ones that go wrong.
But as always, you can like us on...
Think about every heist movie.
Yeah, you can like us on Facebook. You can check us out on Twitter at Group Therapy TV. You can sponsor us on Patreon now. And you can find us on Podbean, Chromecast, and now iTunes. So, this is Paul.
And this is Brandon.
And we're going to say goodnight. Y'all have a good Friday. Good weekend. Take care. And
again, whenever you're listening.
Whenever you listen to this, I mean, you can listen to this on a Thursday.
You listen to this in the past.
You could listen to it in the past. You try to have a good day. What day it is, try to be a good day. And have fun, and don't let the virus get you down. And check us out. You can and also if you have show ideas or tell us what you like and don't like about the episodes. I mean, you can go through and go, hey, this episode sucked, and we go, probably because this episode did not go nowhere near plan as we had originally hoped.
You were like, oh, it's big 5-0 episode. It's
the big 50th episode.
And here I am, half asleep.
Oh, and the sad part about it is we do these episodes at night because it's easier to do it when everybody in the house is asleep. And the dog's asleep, the kids are asleep, your mom's asleep, everybody's asleep, but, well, Joe's probably upstairs playing video games. But no, and we said last week we were going to try to do an episode on Saturday with Bone and Mark. That did not come to fruition, so we're planning on trying maybe to do that this Saturday. It's up in the air. We're still trying to get all the logistics of getting people, not a whole lot of people together at one time. Mm-hmm. We get a couple of us and separating far enough that we can record everything and
still be safe.
And still be safe. But as I've gone over again, we want everybody to be safe, have fun, and take care. And
see ya.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.